This very special live episode is brought to you by Hover. Hover is a fantastic domain name registrar. We use them. You probably use them if you listen to this podcast. You may have registered Zune.zone with Hover.
Someone did.
And if you think you can do better than that, I doubt that you can. You can go
You're welcome to try.
to hover.com and this week use the promo code CONGRATS, like Congrats Nick, which you'll hear in this episode. This was recorded live at the Metropolitan Ballroom at the Penny Arcade Expo this week in Seattle. It was Jake, Chris, and I, Sean. And we hope you enjoy. Thanks, Hover, and thank you, readers. Thank you, Chris.
Oh, thanks, Sean.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh, my God.
You don't have to think.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Hey there.
Yes.
How are you? Okay. Not bad.
So, I guess we're going to kick this off.
This is really exciting.
As is apparent to everyone here, but may not be apparent to those listening at home, we're about to perform the Idle Thumbs theme song live, exactly as it sounds. So we'd like to welcome our 50-piece brass orchestra, our 200-member choir. It's the Seattle whatever
Choir.
Yeah.
Our harpsichordist.
Well, it's Chris
on loan from the Seattle Symphony.
Yes.
We have Kirk Hamilton here on the trombone.
A trombone. He's trying that out.
Saxophone.
Yeah, whatever.
His
It's all the
saxophone.
same. It's the long one.
So, yeah, get ready for that.
Please enjoy this mind-blowing live
Are you guys ready?
performance.
Okay.
Really sorry you couldn't be here.
Sorry if you're listening to this on the podcast. This sucks that you're not here because
So-
it's unbelievable.
You guys are going to... It's just beautiful.
It's more majestic in person.
It sounds just like you playing it on the iMac.
Well, let's hear it for him. Wow. It's amazing how they were able to skip like
they
that.
I know, yeah.
They
We
thought it was
guys
starting
are
to drag.
consummate pros.
They read the
The
crowd.
Seattle whatever really knows what they're
Yeah.
doing.
rehearsed heavily. So welcome to PAX.
Well, what is it?
Oh, geez. Well, it's two things. Because for the people in this room, it's August 31st, 2014. And for the people listening at home, it's September 3rd, 2014.
This is Idle Thumbs 174. I'm
For
Chris,
both of them.
Well, yeah, in either case. I'm Chris Remo.
I'm Jake Rodkin.
And I am Sean Vanneman. Oh, what? You don't clap at that? No!
Sean, they were all clapping for you.
I know. It feels really good. But no, we are not joined today, unfortunately, by Nick Brecken. I don't know if you ever know him. We're going to do something nice for him.
Yeah.
And then we're also, unfortunately, not joined by Danielle Riendo, who could not make it. So you're stuck with us, guys.
Yeah,
It's just
sorry.
the
It's a
these
bummer.
three idiots. We really wish they were here. Well, we wish Danielle was here. I mean,
Yeah.
Can we actually just get a congrats, Nick, on the count of
just a
three?
one big congrats, Nick, for
Yeah,
not
just-
being here.
You guys...
Yeah. For old time's sake.
So let's just do
Yeah, we'll
this.
just.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
That was lovely.
Thanks.
Okay.
He'll appreciate that.
He'll listen to that every night before he goes to sleep. Because, oh no, you guys don't live together anymore.
No.
I like the idea of you, putting a
We're
cup
in
against
his room and
Putting the cup up on the door.
every night. So we're here at PAX.
Yes.
Yes. Are you? I've just been with you the whole time.
Yeah.
But Chris, I have not. You went to-
sorry.
You're not sorry.
I'm not.
You spent most of your time at the Indie MegaBooth lately?
Yeah, like an hour.
Okay, so there's 47 other hours that we're going to just leave off the table, I guess. You want to? What did you? Actually, did you play Screencheat?
No, I do
Okay,
not.
so when somebody said, "Have you played Screencheat?" I thought they said, "Have you played Screamsheet?" Which I thought was just a deep Idle Thumbs cut.
Oh,
what
like a
weird
cyberpunk.
Did you play that
Screenshot.
Cyberpunk's newspaper that faxes itself into the box?
Yeah,
for
and I
you?
was I went crazy and started to text Steve Gaynor
Yeah.
and they're no, it's called Screencheat.
Yeah.
So it's like
Is
playing.
that like a same screen multiplayer game?
Yeah.
All right.
So it's
I'm on board already.
But your guy, no, all the other guys on your screen are invisible. So you have to look at other people's screens to know where they are.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah, you have to screen cheat to be like,
That's
he's
awesome.
in the room with the blue wall.
Oh, it's
or
called
whatever.
Screencheat.
It's really hard to say, especially when my fucking mouth is bad. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Are you saying,
Screen-
like, screen sheet?
I deal with this every day of my life. This will be like an hour at the office. So, yes, I did an hour ago.
Okay, sorry.
No, okay.
So it's a game.
You're
where-
not sorry.
Chris asked if it was the same screen multiplayer game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, so
what-
you look at the other. Oh!
There you
Yes.
go.
Sorry.
It'll never
Look at-
end.
Okay, so
what
that sounds
is it-
really
So
interesting.
you did just have the experience that I had. I think it was Anna the Red told me this or somebody
Yeah.
on the floor. Yeah, you just.
So what do
did
you
it.
actually do in the game besides look at someone else's screen?
You have to
Is it like a
understand.
top-down
Okay,
TV
so it's
thing?
really good podcast content. This is me talking about a game that someone talked about. to
Okay,
me.
never mind.
Oh, you haven't played it?
I asking you if you played it because I want to go play it. We should go play it.
I thought you were asking me because you'd played it and you wanted to, like, share a moment.
You don't need to chastise me in front of the readers. they're all right
I just
there.
misunderstood. We've misunderstood literally every single thing you've said since this began.
You did get that I'm Sean Vanneman at the beginning. Though.
Fuck.
I thought Nick was here.
That's Nick. No. No, it's a shooter. So it's a
Oh, it's like a 3D, like a first person?
it's a first person shooter.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So it's like imagine playing GoldenEye except the guys are
So that
invisible.
really is like the classic experience of playing Halo or GoldenEye or something, and
Yeah.
actually...
Oh, it was Derek Liu. And he's in this room right now.
Oh, there he is.
Ring a bell. Yeah. It was you. Yeah. So Derek said that when he was playing, there was just like some guy who's like, I've been practicing this my whole life. Like this as a screen cheat, against
Right.
games when you shouldn't do that.
Right.
And that was sportsmanship, and it was just wrecking people. So I want to go play really badly and see which of us grew up as like a really dishonest youth. Whoever's the best at it was an asshole, basically.
Well, like,
Yeah.
Is that actually a dishonest move? Because like when we talk about Pikmin 2 multiplayer, which is the thing I'm going to segue into now, because obviously that's what you talk about. Like that's for me part of the strategy of Pikmin 2 multiplayer is like actually managing what's on your screen because the screen is available to you, so someone can look down at the bottom half and just go, "Oh my God, they're doing X, Y, Z." So then you have to like flip the Z targeting around. But I guess maybe I've been training my whole life.
a big
to
part of
screen
Pikmin
cheat.
2 is like... No, it's true. Like, a big part of it is, like, deliberately obscuring where you are. Like, it gets to the point, I don't think you've probably had this experience, in playing Pikmin 2 of, like, making it seem like you're doing something different than
Right,
what
like
you're
you
doing.
walk towards a
when you
marble
know
and
that
you
they're
secretly
watching...
raided their base
yes,
like 2 minutes
exactly.
ago?
Yeah. That kind of, like, screen
So-
share misdirection is, like...
I've always feel like that was. I guess I feel like screen cheating in a shooter was
It is
bad
different.
because like your friend's older brother would just punch you for doing it.
Right.
So well, like
This sucks that we haven't played this.
Yeah, I know.
Because I want to know how far down the well this goes. Like, is it actually like you can like pop up a cardboard sheet that in game that has a drawing of a different part of the level on it? Like how?
Sorry,
like,
I read that as like a cardboard sheet in the game.
That's what I meant,
Where
like,
you-
your
no,
character-
sorry, in real life, where you like somehow
Right.
sectioned off your corner into like one of those like I'm looking at a microfiche or
Someone
something.
sold those. We talked about this maybe on another live show. I think someone sold a GoldenEye TV adapter that quadded out your screen.
I thought you said quadoed out your screen.
Is this just giving the next hour of just...
It's the microphones. This is very bouncy in
Yeah,
here.
it's true.
The Metropolitan
Yeah.
Ballroom is resplendent.
Oh, yeah,
but
let's not
This is not
overlook
the Sphinx.
That we are in the Metropolitan Ballroom.
You all saw that on the way in, right? This is
Yeah.
not the Sphinx Theater. Actually, that's
No,
just
that's bullshit. It's the Metropolitan Ballroom.
very bouncy though.
Yeah, it is. It's bouncing. Bouncing
I
in the
know what
ballroom.
you want to say. You're
I'm
making
not
it.
gonna say it's a bouncing ballroom.
I already just did.
But yeah, we should go play Screencheat
So,
after this.
This live episode, we'll talk about games that we are going to maybe play later at the show that you're all at.
I have a game I played that was really good, so we'll get there. Don't worry.
I think we've arrived there. I think we're
Oh well, no.
They're in the
What
lead
did
here.
you play if you overlooked Screencheat?
So I played Sentris, which is really cool. It's a kind of like music puzzle game. It's the kind of thing that I like a
Is
lot.
that the game
Like-
that's like the bright concentric circles?
Yes.
Okay.
And like, so as you say, rings of concentric circles with different like arcs in various colors surrounding it, and like as you play, there's sort of your cursor, I guess, just constantly rotates around, and it's a music puzzle game, so the whole thing is quantized to the beat. So as your little reticle goes around, you can press A or whatever to like drop a new wedge into the circle, and it creates like a bass drum hit or a bass note or like a hi-hat
Is it
or
actually-
like whatever, a melody line.
Is it actually part of the Tetris franchise?
No, it is
Because
not.
like
I never noticed it's a tris. It's a Tetris. It's a sub.
Right, because like when I saw someone said Sentris, my brain immediately went back to like Weltris for DOS, where it was like the four forced perspective pieces, and it was bad.
Right.
I don't know how to. I'm not gonna even describe it. It's a waste of a podcast.
That's fine. Old classic computer games.
Imagine
no
like
a
sweet 3D Tetris, but like
I remember
in
that
like
game.
Luke Skywalker's
Really?
Death Star computer
Really?
that he turns off.
Yeah.
That one. That's the specific computer I'm talking about.
Well, now I'm thinking about something else. Actually, I didn't know it was anyway.
But yeah, this game is it's all music based, and so like as you play, the sort of ostensible goal of the game is to
rock.
Is to be rad, is to fill up these like sort of empty outlines of these wedges, and you have to like match the size of the empty receptacle with like the things you're dropping in, and as you do that, like creates this soundscape, this like complex music that is generated from all these individual pieces, which is just a like fun thing in general. Like if you've played Fract or I don't know, there's a bunch of games like this, like Electroplankton, right? Games where you just kind of like do things and then music is created, but you're trying to actually achieve this puzzle. I was talking to the developer who I know and now whose name I'm forgetting, Samantha Kalman. Yes, thank you, people who are better brains than me. And she was saying she's going to put in like a free play mode that it doesn't have the puzzle part, so you can just jam out with the stuff. And like the thing that really struck me about it is, I was talking about Fract on the podcast a couple months ago, and like I liked it, but it kind of felt to me at times like I was sort of exploring this big world just so I could get to the cool music puzzles that are responsive and like create this awesome soundscape.
And which just brings it to you.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's just like you sit down with it and just instantly you press buttons and music comes out, and I'm like, yeah.
Is this what you actually do? Is it like a touch-based
yeah, you just kind of go like that.
What,
and then
like
it works.
waggle your hand around?
No, it's a controller.
Oh.
I was exaggerating for radio. I have to exaggerate strongly so that it comes through.
So people just...
Jake is rubbing his fingers in front of a microphone right now and expecting you to know at home. The 50-piece band is unimpressed.
But the thing that is cool, one of the things that is cool about it to me, and I could sort of already tell as I was playing, is like when you play a game like this that just translates everything you do into, parsable music that doesn't sound like garbage. Like it's not like you're just randomly entering notes and it just sounds like trash. Like obviously she creates the game with a given soundscape so that even if you enter things that are totally unpredictable, it still basically sounds cool. And actually, like as a musician, games like that are a really cool way to just get little tiny bits of ideas that will just lodge themselves in your brain, because the thing keeps going around the circle, and so it just keeps replaying this phrase again and again and again and again. And it's like every once in a while you'll hit on something that's like, oh, that's actually a really cool, just little sort of musical turn of phrase. And like, I think that's a really awesome thing to do in a video game, because anyone can play it and make something that sounds awesome. And so you should check this out if that sounds cool to you. It's called Sentris, and I think it's in early access right now, actually. She's working on it for a while. She said she's been working on the...
Weird, is it early access? Sorry, that's weird.
Why is that weird? I thought you were being a butt. I thought you were like, oh, it's an early access.
No. It seems like a weird game to be in early access.
Why? It's a puzzle game. It's like a...
I guess if you can play it a million times forever, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, it's cool. That's one of the things I played.
I'm not allowed to say things are weird.
No, you're
you can say things are weird. It's what you mainly say, so that's fine.
Yeah.
What else did I play? I played this game Galaxy, which I think I talked about also last year at PAX, because the last time I played it
was...
It's
an Indie MegaBooth exclusive.
We should do a super, this layover last PAX's audio directly on top of this one and see which words line up just absolutely perfectly.
Wait, was that the game with the two little orbs that are floating around? Or is that a different thing?
No, I don't think that's...
Oh, no, that two little orbs floating around is called Gemini, and that's made by two guys from NYU who... we met when we went to practice. He's like...
I didn't play the game, but the way that they described it sounded interesting.
Yeah, so these two younger developers who were in NYU's program. I was just chatting with them about the industry, and then I ran into one of them at GDC, and he's like, "Oh, will you give me notes on this game?" And it was on an iPad, and I sat down on the floor, as you do at GDC, and you.
Well,
move. You kind of press the goal is to ascend as these stars into the sky.
But you play as one, and then the other there's you're just a little sort of dot floating up, and then there's a second other dot who sort of twists around you. But they said it's basically it's an autonomous agent. It's another character in the
Yeah,
game.
it's like there's a story like these two, like it's very sort of like it's a surrealist story about these two stars that are in love and sort of dancing.
Oh, it's an indie game.
Correct. It's independently made.
Yeah.
But you move one of them, and then the other one has sort of like, if it's above you, I think it is attracted to you, and if it's beneath you, it's repelled, or maybe I have that flipped. So you're constantly in this sort of like magnetic, like sort of like centrifugal momentum moving upwards. Yeah, and sometimes you'll like lose it, and you have to go down and kind of like scoop it up, and it bounces off you.
Yeah.
The whole, it's very like. I think as you hold down, you move upwards. And so it's very like, you kind of have this like this ebb and flow.
It also
looks
very much like you would mistake it for like an early That Game Company game or like a Pixel Junk game.
Yeah, it definitely is in that. I mean, you know, like this is the first game these two guys have ever made, so it definitely feels like all of their inspirations, like art house inspirations, are
getting
into this game.
Yeah, totally.
So it's like
That's cool.
It was amazing though to like have played this thing. It's always sort of, you know, you want to be. It's like, oh, play this game. And you sit down on the floor at GDC, and you're like, oh, I really hope this works out, guys. You know, like it's really. I like a lot of the ideas in here. Maybe do this, maybe do that, and then to be walking through the mega booth and see it on like a 70-inch screen.
Right.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, well, that's kind of
it's such a nice
sort of the
feeling.
experience I had that I mean, I talked about this in the podcast already, so I won't retell the whole story. But when you showed me that game, like Async Corp,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I feel like I've seen this before. Oh, right, I saw this like 9 months ago in a bar, and some guy showed it to me on his phone.
Yep.
I was like, it's a crazy thing to see. Also, the thing you were saying about like Perennial Indie MegaBooth, when I mentioned Galaxy, because I'd seen it, it actually feels like that is a kind of a theme at the Indie MegaBooth. Like there are games that have just kind of been there for a while.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
It's like I expected to go play Quadrilateral Cowboy and was almost refreshed when it wasn't there.
Right, yeah,
I was like, oh, Brendan's not here. Okay.
Yeah.
I was bummed that he wasn't here, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it feels like a lot of the, especially at the scale of indie, that a lot of the people who, you know, exhibit at the Indie MegaBooth are, you kind of need almost that like perennial PR, you know, to like to make sure you're finding the entire audience and like just fully get it out there.
Yeah.
Which is just the complete like obviously no AAA company would ever take the same game. Like they would, well, I guess Ubisoft would take Assassin's Creed to PAX every single year, but it's just because there's always a new Assassin's Creed, right? Like it's totally
there's something new about it, you know, in their eyes. They spent more money on it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I get, or like, I mean, you start seeing that with like League of Legends and things like that, obviously.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a completely different mindset because it's more of a...
It's like a sport that they're cultivating.
Exactly right. The other one I was going to bring up that's not... Oh,
sorry. So it's weird that Seattle, like, I guess just by coincidence, is now like the worldwide hub of Lord's Management games. Because did you see the? It is.
I thought
did you see,
Riot's in LA.
They are, but their huge
tournament is at PAX.
Tournament is here, and I saw someone showed me a photograph of it, and it's fucking bonkers. Like it just looks like an entire PAX inside of PAX. That is a League of Legends PAX.
Where is it? Are we in it right now?
I don't know.
Is it happening inside of us?
I think it might be like in this hotel, weirdly, like above us.
Does
or
anybody
below us
know
or
where it
something?
is?
It's all
That
purple
was the
and
best
shit.
piece of information
It's all
I got.
purple and shit. Confirmed.
Everybody's like, Q, I'm like, Q, it's all purple and shit. Oh. Thank you, reader.
It's all purple and shit.
Speaking my language.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to that.
It's
I mean,
like
I don't
infinitely
play. I've never
huge.
even played ball.
Really?
Ball
I thought you
once.
played it like once. No?
No, I've never played it
Okay.
once. No.
You just promised to Dota Today listeners that you would.
I make a lot of empty promises on Dota Today and on this podcast and always. Yeah. I did play. I mean, I've played Heroes of the... I always want to say Heroes of the Swarm. It's Heroes of the Storm.
Well, because they have
Heart of the
Here's
Swarm.
the Storm and Heart of the Swarm.
Heart of the... And Hearth Storm. They got to get... Yeah. What's happening? What is happening at Blizzard? Like, not inside of my brain, but what is actually happening at Blizzard? There's just one copywriter who's just obsessed. He's having a fucking, like, aviator
Someone made a little
moment.
cross-stitch that said those three phrases, and they've just... You see it every time you
He's
walk
just sitting there rocking, like, page after page after page of... H blank S, whatever.
Crazy, just scribbled notes of a madman. Here, Heroes of the Storm, Heart of the Swarm, Hearthstone.
That is what it is. You know, it's crazy, but that is obviously what's happening.
Yeah.
It's not coincidence.
It's true. That is definitely, obviously what is clear.
There's only one answer. There is some poor tortured soul chained to a desk in Irvine, California.
The people who go and actually see Blizzard's like WoW Ops Center, and it just looks like the fucking NASA missions. Where
I've been there. It's crazy.
It turns out that that's just for show. When everyone leaves, all the cameras just cut to they're observing the room that has that one guy writing phrases down.
No, it's like
they've got a team of like 500 guys, including Ed Harris,
with just like 40 old telephones that he's constantly.
The room is staffed fully with people
Southwest,
in suits.
Oh my god.
They're all just watching him. They're just making sure that he's okay.
Is this like a switchboard operator? What is this?
No, it's the one guy alone writing down names that are
That's
H
what
of
keeps
the
the
S.
servers running?
Yes.
It's like a weird fucking like
The
Minority
servers run
Report
themselves.
thing where he's like everything is
Just
just
like a sub-basement full of just autonomous bots that keep the server up. This is just to make sure they have their name-generated guys. Is like that his, his hermetically sealed room is kept at a constant
He's in like
rate.
the orb from Sphere. The sphere from Sphere.
it's
that
like,
round object.
Like the circles from Sphere, you know?
When something becomes a title, you stop thinking of it as the thing that
it's totally
it is.
True. Yeah.
Jake is ruined. I knew that would get him.
So that sphere from that movie.
Orb.
Yeah.
He's in there.
Okay.
Michael Crichton's round thing.
For April Fool's, they announced a game called Heart of the Stars or something.
Oh, so they know.
Wait, so they joke announced a game called Heart of the Stars?
I don't like that they know and still do it. That doesn't make it okay. Like if you're an asshole to your friend and then you joke about, I'm such a dick to you. You're just still an asshole to that guy.
Blizzard already does this because do you remember years ago when they announced the pandas as an April Fool's joke, and now there's an entire World of Warcraft expansion about pandas?
Yeah, because when I saw the because I got so far away from, I played WoW a lot in college, and then I got so far away from it that when I saw the Pandarian thing, I was like, oh, is that? You don't even
April
know.
Fool's joke from like
that
5 years
They're
ago.
that weird guy you hang out with you don't know is joking because he's not usually, but the things he's saying should be jokes.
Right.
Fuck Blizzard. I'm really not happy right now. I guess I have nothing.
No, what's the over-under on when Heart of the Stars just comes out and is a real thing? Like
there's no under. It's one. Like it's just 100%. That 1 over 1.
Like the first major, like huge content flip for Hearthstone will then make it Hearthstone Heart of the Stars, and then
you must stop. Sorry, I just spit all over you. Yeah, you must stop. I'm incensed.
That's fine.
I don't know why.
Up here.
Gamergate.
Yeah, I'm just like my whole body got wet. I'm really angry.
This is the actual sort of conspiracy. Yeah, we should be fucking paying attention to this.
Yeah, exactly. This is
follow the money.
That's true. Follow the
Wake
fucking
up,
money,
sheeple.
Ollie Moss. Follow the money. He's been saying that all weekend.
Oh, really?
He's been saying follow the money all weekend. Look. Think about it. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I'm coming off my rage high, so I don't really know what to say.
That's okay.
It's okay, Sean.
I did play Game 4.
Oh, I want to ask you about that because I wanted to play it and I didn't get a chance because there was actually a long line and I didn't think about it too far ahead. This is the new Behemoth game, and it's like a turn-based tactics game.
Yeah,
Man,
it actually just
that
says
seems
when it comes
awesome.
up in the tutorial, it just says this is a tactical, or this is a turn-based strategy game. It's just
Yeah.
like, boop-a-doop-a-doop. Like,
That's
oh,
cool.
okay, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Because you sit down. You guys have all seen their
Have you guys
like,
seen their
rotunda,
presence
right?
at PAX? How they have like that
It's
weird like
huge.
circus rotunda thing
Yeah.
that has all these custom controllers all over it? It looks fucking weird.
Yeah,
I don't
they
understand
make
how it
all
works.
of that stuff. So I went and I chatted with them for a little bit. Everything that you see in their booth, they make. They don't hire a brilliant person in an army of slaves to do it. They just all do it themselves.
They spend like months on their PAX booth.
You don't
though.
hire slaves.
No, you hire the guy who has the slaves. You're like, you're going to do this all yourself? And he goes, yeah. And then he's, got the slaves.
It's true. That is what he's got.
In the fictional version, so apparently the Behemoth is
Well, the
just
Behemoth
riding
hires a slave owner to build their booth.
That's clearly what's happened. Another conspiracy. What's the deal? Follow that one, obviously. No, but they do it all themselves. Like
Follow the money that they don't pay the slaves. Why are we talking about slaves? Sorry, I apologize.
I threw the word out there, and then you went,
yeah.
yeah.
So what's this actual video game?
I want to talk about their booth for a second, because it's really
Okay.
impressive.
What's this actual video game booth?
Thanks, Jake. Thanks for asking. I never thought you would. Yeah, they make all of that, even the controllers. So if you look at this game, they have this rotunda that spins, the top spins.
I'm glad you're calling it a
really
rotunda
beautiful.
now that I called it that. It's inside-out gazebo. I can't talk sometimes.
You should do a podcast. And they have all these screens around the bottom, and you sit on a stool. But there's one giant green A button. Then there's a cancel button and a couple white buttons, and then this awesome lever. And they map all to a controller. So you make your decision, your main decision with the A button, and then when you say like, "Yeah, I know what I want to do on this turn," you lock it in with the lever, and it's awesome. They
cool.
3D printed all that stuff. They built all that stuff themselves. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like I was walking around with Jane Ng, who works at Campo Santo with us, and I think she offhandedly said, like, "How much money do these guys have?" And I looked down at this custom controller. I was like, "That much money?" Like that's 14 of those plus this thing. Yeah.
The Behemoth is actually, to me, a really strange entity in the video game industry because they're not a category of developer that I can put any other developer in.
No,
they're an independent studio, but they're also kind of just like a weird black box that just like spits out a crazy game every few years.
Yeah, Dan Paladin goes into like a fugue state and comes out and just goes, "We're making a
Yeah, it's strange. Like it feels like they got in on, like when Alien Hominid came out, the Behemoth kind of hit their wave of success at this weird transitionary moment where they could still kind of like become established in the era of like old school console development, but they were this small, independently owned team, and it feels like they still are just a weird continuation of that era that like no other modern indie is.
Were you
that
like
I can
unbelievably excited when Alien Hominid was announced?
Yeah,
I
totally.
fucking exploded because no one had made a 2D game like that you could play on a console for like years. It was probably
crazy
only
to
like
think-
3 years, but it seemed like a million years.
Yeah, well, and it's crazy to think now when I haven't gone to a store and bought a video game disc in years probably at this point. And it's crazy to think that Alien Hominid, when it came out, you could only buy it in a box.
Yeah,
It was
on a disc.
on GameCube.
It was on GameCube.
Yeah.
And, so this just reminded me of a thing. Like I just said, it feels like waiting for Alien Hominid. Like I had been waiting for years for a 2D game to come out on a console. I bet it had only been like 3 years. It reminded me.
But that was the most intense 3 years
Right, but
of like.
that always feels so extreme, and you like start like I feel like pieces of gaming history get built around those like waiting feelings that are actually fucking shit. Like Grim Fandango came out in 1998 and was declared the death of adventure games,
Right,
and then
but-
adventure game fans were like, "I can't wait until The Longest Journey revitalizes adventure games in 1999." Like it's a year later.
Yeah.
Or like Half-Life 1 to Half-Life 2 was long, but it's not long now. That felt so fucking long. 1998 to 2004, waiting for a sequel to a huge game. I mean, well, now you get a sequel to a huge game every 6 months, but like a Half-Life game, now it's been 10 years.
Yeah, that's true. Weird. Well, no, it hasn't been because there were the episodes.
Those were really good, actually. But I don't know. I like remembering back to how extreme it feels waiting for a game to come out, and then like going, "Oh, that was like my life did not actually change in any measurable way between not knowing that I wanted Alien Hominid and having Alien Hominid."
Right. Yeah.
And having an alien hominid.
Yeah.
Game 4 is good though.
Okay, so what is it actually?
It is
Besides
like,
the lever.
Well, it's like it's like it's a tactical turn-based strategy game, or like XCOM meets Mario Party is what I would describe it as. Like it's the only way I can really describe this fucking thing.
Good.
Okay, that's
like it's bonkers.
So it's like there's random elements to it, then I would imagine?
Yes.
There's Mario in it.
Yes.
It's a party?
Yes. I'm just going to say yes to the next
Continue.
3 questions. No. Yeah, it's well, I played the single player campaign, but there is going to be multiplayer and co-op, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Also, it's not, you guys know this, but it's not going to be called Game 4. It'll have a real name. Yeah. It will not be. It sounds like, because I asked, I was like, "Are you sure?" Because you made T-shirts, and they're like, like that's my bar. That's my bar for like it is this now. That's the difference between Campo Santo and the Behemoth. It's like, well, we made the fucking T-shirt, so that's done now. Yeah,
Our T-shirt just says video games on it, though.
It's very nice. It's handsome. Yeah. Why are you clapping at commerce?
Applaud the merchandise made for a thing that is not Idle Thumbs. Thank you.
There you go. That's a real shirt. Yeah. You just move across a tile landscape. You have multiple people with you, and then you play a turn-based strategy game. But I was kind of describing it. I was asked about the game afterwards and sat down and talked about my experience with it. And I like it and it's good. but there's this zone between it being a completely bonkers original thing that you have to learn from scratch and just an off-the-shelf turn-based strategy game. Like, oh, I know how to play this type of game. The guy with the mace, he can hit the guy with the helmet, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Use your shield to block the arrows. But there's this zone where you earn coins when you do damage to guys, or if you like have a critical strike, you get like a coin multiplier. You lose hearts, but my guys, apparently they can die. None of my guys died. There's an economy of items as well that's from coins that seem based on your skill level, but also kind of random. Where you go and and then you have a house and you can outfit your house and buy items for your little guys and stuff like that. But there's this middle zone of the mechanics of the game that is a black box to me, not unlike the Behemoth as a company, I guess. But that's the part that I couldn't figure out yet, and is the part that will make the game actually good.
Right.
But demoing it on the floor, the AV is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
It's super fulfilling.
Nice.
The controller is really great. It's also hilarious. There's a narrator. So as you walk across the overworld,
Is it like a Bastion style thing? Is it actually responding, or is it just like you're just hearing?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like as fundamental as Bastion, where he's always there and telling the story, but he ducks in and out like that, and it's incredibly well written. It's
nice.
really, really funny. Like, I thought it was great.
Were you blown away?
I would say
I thought you were
blown
going to say
away.
that. I heard
If you're asking honestly, I was blown away. I really was. But
high praise.
and it's more. It's more. Everything is just turned up. It feels like the timing is really good.
To what?
To their other games, which is
okay.
crazy sounding
Interesting.
because
They
all those
already
games
just go
are
for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
now it just feels more synesthetic.
Huh.
Like
That's cool.
music changes genres. It's like,
nice.
I'm listening to like a
It feels
techno
like that's-
beat, and then I'm
yeah.
listening to this like a more cartoony bump, 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 and it just blend. It doesn't care.
That's what's interesting when you say that is because I think that is the thing you're describing. I think is what they always want to go for, and it's like what they always, in their trailers is always, it's always this bombastic, just like nonstop, like pedal to the metal, crazy explosion. And the Behemoth, in addition to having that weird kind of identity that I was talking, this sort of black box identity almost. Is it me? No.
Who was it? It was Sarah.
Like in addition to that kind of identity as a company, like they kind of feel to me like a band that just stays in the studio and is like slowly working towards this like ultimate expression of this specific.
This feels like
thing
a
they're
band's
trying
big
to
album
achieve.
to me,
Yeah,
for what
like,
it's worth.
yeah.
It feels like, this is the one where, you saw the two albums that got you to this one. This is one feels like that because it feels incredibly confident. It starts and you're a farmer, like a blueberry farmer, and your kid gets exploded, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to use the word killed, but that's somehow better. So you go on this quest, and you're like, I have a sword, and I'm fighting guys with arrows, and like they're an oppressive force, and I'm in a castle, but then I'm about to take on the next group of guys, and a space shuttle lands and scoops them all up and takes them away. And that space shuttle is fucking hilarious. It's amazing. And I'm like, okay, the moment that space shuttle landed, because I was like, okay, I was trying to hold on to the cohesiveness of the world. This is the way I play the game.
Yeah,
I
right,
want to know,
sure.
I'm a farmer. It's funny. I should remember my kid's name, I guess. So I'm like remembering all this stuff. And then when that space shuttle landed, I totally chilled out. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, right.
This is just a crazy thing. I can relax and just be entertained, as opposed to trying to hold on to, trying to make connections.
Trying to suspend the disbelief along a thread.
Or just make, your brain, like, you're burning cycles on making those connections about what the theme
You're looking
of the
for
game
meaning?
is. Not meaning, but cohesion.
Yeah.
And then when it tells you to your face, stop doing that, you relax, and it's really entertaining.
That's
The
cool.
first city you go to looks like Rome, and you end up in the Colosseum. But when you walk into the city, that's the part where I went like, okay, this game is amazing, because the whole thing is just alive and bouncing, and there's 3D elements all of a sudden because they needed it to make
crazy.
it look like what they wanted it to look like. It just seems like an expression of a very, very confident expression of all the things Dan Paladin likes, and doesn't give a fuck how they fit because he's confident enough that their aesthetic and their execution is the actual glue that binds it, not anything else.
It's like a Sam and Max comic or something, right? Like
even that feels more cohesive, like intentionally cohesive. Like if you were to go to Steeper Cell and be like and try to like draw a panel of Sam and Max and you wanted to put a storefront in it, we know this because we worked on Sam and Max. You'd say, "Oh, I want to name the store this," and he would go, "Oh, that's not really Sam and Maxy."
Sure.
Where this doesn't have that; it just has. Its execution is its cohesion, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
You would dig it, I think.
Yeah, I definitely want to play it.
But mechanically, I do think there's an opaque... Like right now, I think they're going to playtest the shit out of this game for probably a while. I don't think this game's coming out anytime soon.
You'll see it at the next 3 PAXs based on Battle Block Theater.
Yeah, eventually there will be hover technology that floats their booths because they'll have developed it at the studio.
And not mention it to anyone until it's just at PAX.
Which will be even more confounding for Chris. No, I think the game will be in development for a while because there is this like mechanically like this area.
And they tend to take a while. They tend to show their stuff early and then take a while.
Yeah,
is how it seems.
But you should. It's worth. I mean, I don't think games here. Okay, this is a shitty thing to say. I don't really think there's anything worth lining up for ever. Like I hate to. I don't line up for anything. I hate to line up for stuff, but I would line up for this game. It's really great. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Did you play anything, Jake?
What do you think? It's Jake Rockin.
Yeah,
let's all watch Jake's face. This is what we get to do when we're on mic. We get to watch his face contort.
No, I played Risk of Rain for a few minutes, but not enough to say anything about it. And I watched someone play. Man, what's the name of that game? I wrote the name of it down. It's the weird game with like the eyeball that has like stuff flopping off of it that jumps around.
Oh yeah, classic game.
No, it was
even the readers are confused. I was waiting for the guy like, it's this.
No, it was called Deep Under the Sky. It's a one-button game. It looks like a combination of like Gradius or Life Force or something plus like Jeff Minter. It's got the weird like bubbly, gross, organic mess, and then just this weird. You're just play as this crazy
like
eyeball.
Psychedelic thing, or what's the
just with weird it looks like a psychedelic art version of like an old like NES.
Crazy.
Shoot 'em up.
Okay.
But it's all one button control, but the button does a different thing every time. You see it's a kind of like a movement puzzle game. You see a queued up list of all of like the next 3 moves, and when you press A, it executes that move and then slots the next one in. So you have like a dive or a jump or an explode yourself, and you sort of are just trying to get all these stars. But it's pleasing in the way like I think Ollie or someone, I think it was you, described it as like. Something it's so ugly that it ends up also just being appealing because it just there's
like
so
a Paul
much of
Pope
it
comic
going
or
on
something.
At once. It looks hideous. Go look at it. It looks hideous, but it's I don't know.
That's cool.
That's all that I played. I just looked at that and I've been sort of sleeping. I've been sleeped and stressed out. Yeah. So
you seemed pretty relaxed last night when you were snoring. I peeked into the room and Jake's just like bundled up, like just so good. Like, he's finally getting his sleep. He's like so relaxed.
I don't know. I mean, do you guys want to just?
Actually, one thing I did want to talk about that was PAX related is maybe not worth talking about, but like, good. I don't know. Well, everybody's here, so we can talk about Far Cry for a second. No, it's just
we're talking about Far Cry 2 times 2.
And I hate to be negative, especially on a live show, but the first thing I fucking
especially
saw...
with the creative director of Far Cry 4 right there. That's Doug.
Yeah, the first thing I saw when I watched... This isn't the developer's fault, maybe? I don't know. I don't know whose fault this is. It doesn't matter. But I walked into the show, the first thing I saw was like the cage match of animals fighting in front of a Far Cry 4 sign. And I was like, oh, so Far Cry is actually done. We're done, right? We're done with this? Like, I can stop holding out hope that this is going to be like a serious thing. But it's going to take itself seriously.
Right,
and then the developers will speak about it seriously, but I'll have to watch an elephant get the shit kicked out of it by a puma. In a cage, like what the like? How if that's the,
right? Yeah.
That's your anchor for our presence at this show that has hundreds of thousands, 100,000 people who are going to come and get excited about this. Yeah. And then in 3 months, I'm supposed to read an article about this game taking itself seriously.
Yeah. It's like it makes it makes something like exhibiting your games at a show like this feel just like a car show or something, where it's just like. We just have a mud wrestling match.
But a car show feels like the goddamn like Guggenheim in classiness compared to this shit. Like I'm looking at that and I'm not seeing the hilarity of this tiger getting the crap kicked out of it by a guy in a bear suit. These are people in suits, sorry. If these were actual animals, I would not be complaining, even though that'd be really fucked up. Because then it's just like, okay, you're criminals, so I've never seen a bear and a tiger fight because I'm not a Roman emperor, so whatever. I'll stand here but act really. Anyway, what we're talking about? Yeah, I just see, there's a guy in there who's making $11 an hour to sweat his balls off and get the shit kicked out of him by another guy who's also making $11 an hour or whatever. You know what I mean?
I thought the people in the suits were PAX attendants.
Oh, my God! No, they're not. Really?
Are they? Do you guys listen to
To win a PS4, that makes it even worse.
Okay, I just need to knock my mic over. I need to knock everything over. Plug it, shut it down. We're all just... Yeah, I mean... So they should just give those guys $11
that booth
an hour.
being right at the front of the exhibit hall, it actually, when I walk past it, I picture my life as a top-down, NES Japanese RPG character, but from, a really badly designed one, where it's really cruel, and to get to where you want to go, you have to walk through, the noxious cloud that just takes 2 hit points off every time you go across the show floor.
That's totally true.
I actually just feel 10% more tired every time I have to traverse the floor because someone is screaming at me about animal fights.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So this is how
terrible bagging on this.
I go across the aisle, and then the Evolve booth is there, which is nuts. That giant, thing.
And
I'm
stupid slobbering beast.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a video game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna kill the guy, the big thing, and look how tall
Well,
he
the
is.
final round of the Far Cry fight is when that Evolved beast actually is revealed to be a mechanical thing. So you really want that PS4? This huge Rancor now.
The Rancor, yeah. You gotta stick that bone in that Rancor's mouth. Yeah.
Anyway, big, horrible, sort of depressing cage match. This is how the mainstream games industry thinks is that's the best, really the best way to show off our game at a thing. But the
It just
thing
makes
that
me want to
everyone-
go to that meeting.
The thing everyone should probably get mad about is a woman said something that bothers you on the internet. That's probably what you should really get fucking riled up about, right?
Well, you better link me that tweet right now, so I can. Sorry. You guys want to?
You read them all?
I would love to do mail from you, the readers, if you have some that you could offer us live.
It's
you better have already mailed it here because we won't take anything other than that.
Please ask us questions so we have.
Put it in
Okay,
that
you
microphone.
didn't do that. You can talk into that microphone.
If no one
there.
wants to say anything, then
we're just going to keep going.
Over.
Okay, good.
Someone's getting up.
Yes. The champion arrives.
This is a microphone.
Yeah, come
Well,
grab
just
this.
go to the mic.
Yeah. Otherwise, your sweet dulcet tones.
You
will
won't be
not
able to hear yourself on
the
Wednesday
podcast.
in MP3 form.
So the next thing you're going to say is going to be on the podcast.
Okay.
We're going to send
Yes!
you.
That was it. You did it.
So at the Giant Bomb panel last night, Brad Shoemaker said when he went and saw Firewatch, or your demo of Firewatch, that he described the game as sort of punching above its weight. And
He did that wasn't his first thing he said.
which it's a compliment of your game, but I was wondering what you thought, what elements of your team was something that would contribute to that.
they're all right
Jane
here.
Ing, right there.
Jane, Paolo, Will, James. Who am I forgetting? Nels, Ollie.
Mainly Jane, though.
Mostly Jane.
I mean, I would say mainly Jane.
Jane is
like a
I
towering
think
giant.
The specific
of
thing that John was
development.
talking about to Brad was when we were demoing the game to Brad, he was saying he was surprised that it looked as a Unity game, and we were like, oh well, it's because the people who are putting the art in the game are just wrenching a lot out of that thing.
Yeah, I mean, people have, that's been a comment of people are surprised. I think we're just spending, when I say spending the money, I just mean our time. I think we're just focusing on the right stuff, and people are really good. So we're all just working, it's crazy to do this. It's a team where you just like everybody, and you think everybody's better than you, at least for me. Well, when it comes to skill level and stuff like that. So I think that helps. It's weird, though. For me, we don't see that, though. We just see the game that we were going to really improve.
We're just mad at it all the time, so yeah, I don't know.
Yesterday, I decided not to be mad at it.
Oh, I'm mad.
Yeah, I was like, come here, son. I know I'm hard on you, but yeah. Yeah.
Their panel also couldn't figure out what Firewatch was for quite a while.
What do you mean?
We can't either. That's
it's
we're
fine.
working on it.
You should watch that panel.
Oh, how to describe it?
They had difficulties describing.
It's an
Firewatch.
impossible game to describe, but I feel like when you play it, you know what it is. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like did you? Yeah.
We don't have to.
Yeah, we don't have to go into that too much, but
Firewatch,
it's tough
sell
to-
the mystery.
That is a
Smell
challenge.
the mystery.
They smell the mystery.
Well, I said sell it first, then I dropped an M in there.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Well, why not? I don't know.
Thanks so much. What's your name?
Thanks.
Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks.
Tell us your name first.
Hey guys, my name is Corey.
Hey.
So another Firewatch question.
Oh, man. Good. Thanks for coming to this Firewatch panel redux.
Well, just
post-show.
Campo Shanto guys up there, so
No, it's fine. No, I mean, it's totally
So I watched the stream yesterday morning and just kind of off the bat, I was like, that kind of looks like Gone Home, except in a forest.
Fuck you.
Wait,
I didn't just say fuck you to that guy, did I?
you definitely did. Remember all those times in Gone Home where you talk to people with dialogue trees?
Remember that time in Gone Home when you repelled into that cave?
No, it has some stuff in common. I mean, it's a first-person game that has a lot of small details in it and is very narrative-focused, but hopefully there's a bunch of things in it that we're doing that Gone Home did not do. And
But yeah, we're definitely in, like, we have the same sensibilities, you know.
Yeah.
There's no, like, we don't really even talk to Steve and Yonaman and Carla that much about the actual game. But no, I think that we definitely just like a lot of the same stuff, you know? And there's things that game did, like object putback was really good in that game.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, let's
We
do
just took
something,
that idea.
like do that because we don't have to think about that now.
Yep.
But structurally and at its core, I think the games are about really different things, but also not. I mean, Gone Home's about the interiority of a person, you know, and ours is as well, two people, but we're just going to unpack that with completely different tools, I guess. So, but I definitely think we're
until Steve bails the company out when we're low on cash and we rebrand it Gone Home 2.
Yeah, until we rebrand it Gone Home 2. Yeah.
Left home.
You turn off mic 2, please? Don't actually do that.
Yes. Thank you for the question.
Thanks,
Sorry for
Corey.
insulting.
Thanks. Yeah, sorry for saying F you. That was really terrible.
Yeah, that was not on purpose. Sorry.
We'll cut that out of the podcast, though, right, guys? Right?
No.
No? Okay, we're going to leave that one in.
We don't cut anything out of the podcast.
Hey, I'm Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
So I have a recommendation to check out 2 games or
Oh, okay,
questions
cool.
on if
Good.
you did play them.
Uh-huh.
The first is called Due Process, and the second is called the Altrust Principle or something. And it's by the guys who did Serious Sam.
Oh,
And
crazy.
the way they
Wait,
describe
both of them
it,
or just the second one?
No, just the second one.
Okay.
But the way
Does
they
it
describe
have a guy who goes, do you hear like 100
It
miles
might.
off in the distance?
It might. What I really liked about the second... Did you play either of them?
No.
No, are they
I
here?
recommended them. Yeah, the principal one, Talos Principle. Yeah,
The Talos Principle.
They described it as, well, they were working on Serious Sam 4, and they were going to put these puzzles in there, and then they decided to pull out the puzzles and make an entire game around it.
Awesome.
That's cool.
And
Great.
it reminds me a lot of the best puzzle games where it really trains you really well and then asks you to use that training in the next puzzle.
Nice.
Great. I love that.
And then what I love about Due Process is it's kind of like Spy Party, where they just threw it out there after they've been working on it for a pretty short time. It's very rough graphically, but the systems are really awesome, where it's 4v4 attack versus defend. You have to, like...
Oh, is this the...
Plan out-
I've seen this. This is the like SWAT kind of tactical game.
Yeah, I think I heard about it because it was announced as being backed by the Indie Fund.
Right.
Oh, cool.
John Blosting.
Yeah.
But
That was cool because it looked like such a more rigorous treatment of that than like Battlefield Hardline or something,
Yeah.
which is just the most like bleh version of like
I just love
kind
it
of a
because
tactical
it's
assault thing.
rectangles floating around, and, you know,
Yeah.
we'll figure out the graphics later, and right now it's a fun game, so let's
Yeah.
just put it out there.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Cool.
Check 'em out.
Thanks for the recommends.
Yeah, thank you.
That's actually very. I really
helpful.
appreciate
Yeah,
that because
totally.
we have to walk out of here and walk through that noxious cloud to find. My hit points are low.
Due Process is on the 6th floor, right across from the Ouya booth, I think.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
There's an Ouya booth. And then
Okay.
No comments. No comment.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name's Derek.
Hey.
After seeing the Firefall panel, I was really impressed.
Yeah, Firefall's cool.
Sorry. Firewatch panel.
It's so funny as I heard fire and then he said fall. I was like, oh, cool. We're talking about Firefall.
No, the
I was like, okay,
the
good.
Firewatch panel.
We're not
Yes.
talking about our
So I was really impressed seeing kind of the first time public demo for kind of a mid-sized team. Lots of times those things go really bad, and it seemed to go. I mean, like crashes and problems with the demo process.
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
Yours went extremely.
Ours went bad
smooth.
in the other ways.
What's funny is you can't see it, but the usable object on the fireworks in the beginning was not on them for some reason. There was a bug.
No,
there.
it was just like an angle.
Yeah, and I was like watching it, and I was like, "Oh God, here we're right at the beginning." But,
yeah, it was like the first thing you do in the game, and it
just
didn't
wasn't-
work quite right, and that was horrible.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about this? What are we
Okay,
doing?
I'm sorry.
I don't
I'm
know.
done talking.
We're with
Continue
the
your
readers.
question.
I
Our
wanted
friends.
to know what kind of prep went into planning the panel and any interesting stories, I guess, like that one.
We just kind of actually, it was pretty straightforward. We just 6 weeks ago basically just decided we were going to show the trailer at the panel, and then we were going to show maybe some fraps capture of the game, and we just said you know what, let's just commit to showing the game live and just do it, and we just did.
Yeah.
We just decided we have said we're going to do this now, so now we just have to do it, and so we just kind of scoped the stuff we're going to show to a chunk of the game that we thought we could bring to a reasonable level of
And
completion.
then Will, our programmer, just ruled closing it with an iron fist last week.
Yeah,
He
that
just-
really helped.
He
That-
just
that was a big
locked
deal.
down the build, said, all right, no more content gets checked in.
And then we only snuck 2 or 3 more things in with his permission.
But when we did, we had to have peer review as they were getting checked in. It was very rigorous.
Yeah, we were just very
So,
careful, I guess.
Yeah.
And also then very lucky that something didn't totally just eat it.
I was expecting it to. Yeah, we dodged a bullet there. But the game is pretty. I mean, it's pretty it doesn't crash that much. I mean, any crashes are not content stuff at this stage. It's just Unity's being a butthole or whatever. So I'm glad that didn't happen. But now the game, I think we scoped pretty well.
Yeah.
Which was nice. And it was also we never really closed anything as a team, so it was really refreshing. We got done and we were all like, "Hey, that was fun. Let's go." Now we just do that 10 more times and the game's done. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey guys, my name's Brendan. How y'all doing?
Hello.
How's it going?
This isn't really a question. I just had this cool thing, an anecdote that happened to me last night, and I told my girlfriend and she didn't give a shit about it, so I figured share it with everyone here.
Okay, this is bold. We're in bold
No,
territory.
it was
vetted it with the person who loves you the most.
So I was
Go
having. I'm from Vancouver, and I was having drinks last night with a friend of mine who's a coder in Vancouver. He works at Capcom, and he did the crowd technology on Dead Rising 3. And he just got hired to move to Montreal and work for Ubisoft to do the crowd technology for their next 19 Assassin's Creed games or whatever. So in the past week, he has sat down to play Assassin's Creed 4 to get a sense of it. So this is a guy that's about to move to Montreal and get a job with Ubisoft to work on Assassin's Creed, playing a game where in the game you are a guy starting at Ubisoft playing Assassin's Creed 4 to work. Full of fuck. I don't even
Yeah, like you do.
I got nothing else to say. It
No,
was-
that's good, man. You
Yeah.
did it. I see why your girlfriend didn't give a shit, but it's a pretty fucking good story. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Daniel.
Sorry, I'm reeling.
I'm sorry for startling you on the bus this morning.
Oh, hi.
Hey, cool shirts.
Did you guys just
Yeah.
say just nice? Yeah,
This guy
they're
accosted
wearing
me
the
on the bus
same
this morning.
T-shirt, the same Edelweiss shirt.
So, segging from that, I'd like to know what is your sense of the Venn diagram of the fandom between the different things that you're involved with and you were involved with
that's
in the past, so Idle Thumbs and then Double Fine and Telltale and Campo Santo. Are people coming to Firewatch completely independent of all that, or is there a lot
Some
of
people
overlap?
probably are. I mean, I think probably the early people who were aware of us early probably was because they knew us from something else, maybe. But I think we like to come do something like a PAX unveiling and things like that to try and find other people. Because if the only people who are interested in us are the people from who are just kind of already knew about us in the first place.
If
like
only
that.
the readers buy the game, Campo Santo won't exist anymore. We love you guys, but it's just you need to all have 10 kids who all have credit cards or something.
I didn't get to go to the panel. Did you see some people that were just wandering by, or was it pretty?
It's kind of impossible for us to know.
Yeah, I mean, I think personally, it's so funny because I think of it the other way. Where this is just I get to not run a company and think about the game and stuff. This is this is a hobby. It's like a respite from all the other stuff that that's my career, and this is hanging out with my friends. So it's as Idle Thumbs feels like more of a concrete entity that gets really squirrely because no, let's not make it too serious. Don't get too serious. But at the same time, it's nice to be able to pay for the studio and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know what that Venn diagram is. I think Firewatch is in Campo Santo is just for we want it to be broad. It's if you like these type of games, come play this stuff. Whereas Idle Thumbs is pretty insular. We make in jokes and we don't worry so much about
mass appeal.
Mass
Mass
appeal about leaving somebody out because like, oh, they'll get the joke eventually and then they'll love us, sort of thing. You know, like it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's like or not.
Yeah,
You know, if somebody says,
Yeah.
like if I get an email, like especially like we don't want to talk about this stuff too much probably, but you know, we got some emails and tweets last week based on last week's episode, and some guy was just like, I'm never listening to your stuff again, and I was just like, cool,
Okay.
all right,
see ya.
Bye, guy who was never really a fan of us, I guess. You know, whereas if I get an angry email about something that Camposanto did, I really have to like, it's different. I have to really think because like people's lives matter to this. You know, like everybody left something that paid them way more to do this. You know, so like you have to. It's completely different mindset. So that didn't really answer your question, but I would just handle that situation very differently.
The Venn diagram of this Q&A, though, is like really fucking tight. Except for that one outlier of the Stick Assassin's Creed story.
Yeah, this is just one like
circle,
brownish circle with all the colors on top of each
like
other.
a slightly oblong circle.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Mitch. I have another game recommendation for you guys.
Cool.
I know you guys are big fans of like Sports Friends and all those like hectic local multiplayer games, and there's a really good one of those here. It's called Videoball. I don't know if you guys
Videoball.
have heard
That's
of it.
Tim Rogers. I haven't actually played it, but I'm aware of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's super interesting. He like worked with Suda51 in Japan at Sony, and it's just like a crazy dude. But yeah, he's making a game called Videoball now. And
Is Videoball one word or two words?
One word. All caps. All caps, one word.
It would be though if it was like an '80s like sport.
Oh yeah, no, but if it had a space, it's also way more hilarious. Videoball. Interesting.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, out of curiosity, this isn't what I was going to ask, but what about last week's episode pissed people off?
Oh, I mean, we were pretty honest about. I mean, we're completely honest about our feelings of the sort of cultural things that are happening in the industry, and some people didn't like that. So fuck those guys. Yeah. I've sworn on this panel. I feel really bad for saying "f you" to that reader. Come back if you're out for a hug. I'm into that.
You're about to cry up here right now.
Thanks, Chris.
Hi, I'm Mike, and I guess I'm last. Since we skipped most of the video games in the theme song, I thought it might be okay to give a recommendation that's a tabletop game. The Tier.
Yeah.
So if you're getting tired of the Noxious Fume, there's this game on like the third floor, I think, called The Duke by
good name
Calypso Game, I think.
Oh wait, I think I know what this is.
Yeah, you might have seen the gigantic. They have a gigantic.
It's like human chess
edition.
or something.
It's kind of like chess.
Yeah.
But you start, or each piece is like a square, and what's on top of the square is the move that piece can make.
Right. This board is like 10 feet by 10 feet, and the squares are like.
crazy.
Like
so this is not a game you can like buy and own.
Yeah, you could buy and own this probably.
You can own the Duke, Chris.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, they have smaller versions.
For people with little feet.
The actual
for like hamsters to play or whatever.
It is just cool being big. The actual game is small, and they have really nice wooden pieces, and it's just it's really cool. But it's like on the top of the piece is what move it can make, and after you move it, you flip it over, and there's a different move it makes on the back. So you have to strategize that way too.
Cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool, and you get to play with the big. Mostly foam pieces and put it down.
Yeah,
while you're
that sounds really clever.
I saw that yesterday. I was walking by and I was like, "This is different," which is great. It's like the feeling you want to have. But then I was like PAX exhausted, like all my life force was gone. That I was like, "Oh, I bet those pieces are really heavy."
They're not. They're really light. They're made of like foam.
They're foam. Okay, that's so funny. I was like, looked at that and I was like. Oh no! I could never.
You thought they were what, like ebony?
I thought they were wood. I thought they look wooden. Yeah.
The pieces in the actual game you can take home are wood, like really nice.
Okay, just normal.
We only have like 4 minutes left, so I don't know.
Fine, we're doing okay. We'll do 2 questions.
We'll do
There's
2
guys.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for
the
Thank you
recommendation.
for the Duke rec.
Yeah.
What?
Go. Hey.
Hi, I'm Nicholas.
What? Hi,
Nicholas.
Duke rec.
I'm wondering what your thoughts are on procedurally generated games. Since,
Positive, mainly.
Well, like like that Spelunky game you might have heard of. But in terms of, you look at NetHack, and it's this insanely complicated game with all these like huge permutation of options you can do. And we haven't really seen anything quite like that since then that I can think of in any case.
I think the games that have that level of complexity are often just different kinds of games, right? I mean, I don't know. It's been so many years since I've played NetHack, and I don't know if I could like necessarily know where these things fall on the complexity scale. But something like, I don't know, like something like Dwarf Fortress is certainly just like preposterously intricate and like basically infinitely, random in terms of what like when things pile on one another and pile on and pile on. And then like in terms of a game that's not randomly generated, there are definitely games that are, I mean, I don't know, something like.
Yes. That's a good one.
Sorry.
We almost did it.
God damn it.
3 minutes.
Like a Stalker game or DayZ or something. And those games are nothing like NetHack, obviously, but they're very complex, Lots of things sort of intersect. But I think it is harder to just release something that is extraordinarily complicated in the way that something like NetHack is. I mean, I think there's probably not room for tons of those. But I think one of the things that's really cool about the influence of games like that now is that, oh, right, we have to do that. Sorry, I'll speed through this. Is that, like people can sort of...
You're talking about procedurally generated games, and you're Chris Remo.
Oh.
Good fucking luck.
There's just something really great about being able to distill that complexity down to like a simple rule set that still actually creates like a huge amount of divergence and emergent behavior. I mean, Spelunky obviously is a great example of that. So,
it's fine.
I'm done. Sorry, thank you for the question. I could talk about this much longer, obviously.
Is yours a minute long?
It's quick.
Go ahead.
Yes. All right, my name's Eric, and I really like it when you guys talk board games, and you haven't talked about any
I
recently.
got one. Next week, I promise.
Okay, cool. Is there anything here that you guys would suggest that we should check out?
Oh, this game's old, but like we played Love Letter last night at the house.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, that's a good one.
It was fucking awesome.
Really good one.
So like, I forgot how good that game was. I
Love
played it.
Letter.
Yeah, it's so good. Love Letter.
Thanks, Jake.
It's great.
I thought you said level editor.
I thought
Just bringing this back around.
Comedy is about full circle bookends. Well done.
Oh, it's like sphere orb. God,
all right. Lastly, we have actual mail because it was handed to us by Ross.
Thank you for your question, and yeah.
Real quick, check out Below, Chris. You should really check out Below.
Oh yeah, I really want to.
Yeah, we're gonna
Cappy
go,
Games.
We'll
Yeah,
go
I'm
play
stoked
that
about
for
it,
sure.
yeah. Also here, while you're picking
Come to
that up,
Bevs and Devs tonight at the Hard Rock, 6
Yeah.
to 10. It's all of us, as well as Campo Santo, Double Fine Harmonics, Choice Provisions, who are the
Cappy.
Bit Trip guys, and Cappy have just like free event. I mean, you have to pay for the drinks, but you don't have to pay to hang out with a bunch of cool people and look at video games.
yeah,
You don't have to do that.
6 o'clock at the Hard Rock Cafe. It's like
Yeah.
2 blocks.
And you don't have
away
to have
or
a PAX badge.
You don't have to have
something.
a
Yeah,
PAX
so
badge.
you
if you
have
have
a friend.
friends, bring them.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
let's
so
check
we
this
have a
out.
poster that was made for us about this panel.
We have not seen it yet.
Oh, this is excellent.
shit.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wow.
Yes.
You can't see this, but
It is a big
Oh my
dog
God, that's so
listening
good.
to
To a
the Idle Thumbs
gramophone.
record.
it's like the his master's voice like classic record label.
Wow.
But it's a big dog. That's
But it's a
fucking
big
good.
dog. That's really good.
Holy shit! Thank you.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. This is fucking good.
Cool.
This is
sorry.
Ross Cubbin. Am I?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. So I think that's it because
Ross is right there. Ross, stand
getting
up.
kicked out of
and
the
then we're
room.
going to get up and go.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you
Ross.
guys very much.
Thanks,
for coming
readers.
by.
Thank you, everyone.